All right, with the spring housing market quickly upon us, you might be thinking it's time to get my house ready to sell, which means you need to be thinking about what you have to do to prepare the home to get it listed. So this time last year, houses were going into escrow in literally a matter of days. Sellers didn't really have to pay attention or prepare their house as much when it went on the market as they do now. If we look back at 2020, 2021, and 2022, shoot, you could put a house in almost any condition on the market as is and watch it fly with colors. So now we've got to really dig in and find out what steps do you need to take to get a house ready to put it on the market. That's what we're going to cover today. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm Ryan Schramm. I'm the broker and owner of Ryan Schramm Real Estate here in San Clemente. Hey, if you like YouTube, if you like watching videos and staying in touch on what's happening in the housing market or lifestyle-wise in San Clemente or South Orange County, subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone or if you care about somebody who's going to be putting their house on the market this spring, forward them this video. Okay, let's jump into this. Number one thing, start interviewing agents early. You do not want to wait until a week or two before you put your house on the market to start interviewing agents. That is not the way to do it. So once you've made the decision to sell your home, start engaging with an agent early on. Reason being is, and I do this with a lot of my clients, I am helping them with really every facet from preparation of the home, everything in between to when we close escrow. So there are some big decisions which I wouldn't want you, if you were my client, to have to make without advice and guidance. So that's why it's so important to engage with an agent early. Doesn't matter if it's 6 months. Honestly, that would be better because your agent can start preparing you on the things that you need to know, start positioning you, start watching home sales, all of the things that go into being a top producing agent. That's what you need your agent to look out for you for. I would definitely select 2 or 3 agents to interview, and the criteria that you're looking for in the agents that you're going to interview, you want that hyper local expert. This agent should know neighbors' names. They should know little nuances to the street that you're on. They should know when the neighborhood stop sign gets busy at 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. They might even live in the neighborhood or have lived in the neighborhood, although I don't think that's required, but that could be a good start as well. Okay, so now let's get into the interview. You're at the kitchen table. You're gonna be wanting to ask your agent about marketing strategy. How are they gonna market and sell the home? What mediums do they use to market the home? You're also gonna wanna ask about communication strategy. I would say that's probably most people's greatest letdown when they enter into an agency relationship is the communication. We live in an on-demand society. You want information, it's so easy to get it at Google, at your fingertips. And a lot of times sellers want instant feedback about how a showing went, or hey, what's the latest on that offer? So you want to have a conversation. What are your communication strategies? Is the agent up to snuff on the way that they communicate that you'll be happy and you'll have managed and pleasant expectations? All right, the second thing you need to prepare for, maintenance and repairs. Now, this could be little things like a leaky faucet, a cracked tile. You've got a door that creaks or doesn't close all the way. You've learned to live with these things. You've been in your house for, many years. It doesn't bother you anymore. I have things like that in my house. But here's the deal. When you go to show this property to a new buyer, a prospective buyer who's never seen the house before, they're looking at everything and you only have one first impression. And it's just like in baseball, you really get 3 strikes when showing a buyer a property. And we don't want little things that are avoidable or could have been handled ahead of time to start getting strikes on the count. Here's the other thing about maintenance and repairs. I've seen this time and time again. If you get that buyer into escrow, those things are going to end up costing you more when a buyer asks you to fix them than if you would have addressed them ahead of time. All right, here's number 3 for you. We call it the 3 Ds: depersonalize, declutter, and deep clean. I could make a separate video just on this topic alone, but here's the gist of it. It's going to seem difficult to do, to start putting away your personal pictures, putting away your favorite red rug, and depersonalize and decluttering the home. But it's going to make a huge difference for your property when you want that house to attract to the most amount of buyers as possible. Here's a tip. Take things you don't use every day, things that have been collecting dust, put them in boxes. Put the boxes in the garage. It's better they're in the garage than if they're on the countertops or if they're in the corners of the home or on the shelves. If you've got little ones and there's tons of toys around, pick their favorite ones, leave those ones for them, and pack away the other half or 2/3 of the toys. Remember, You've got one shot to do this, and it's only gonna be a short amount of time on the market if your agent's doing it right. Expect, 2 to 4 weeks if the home is priced correctly. So bite the bullet for those 2 to 4 weeks and minimize. Here's the deal. The extra clutter makes houses look smaller, darker, and overall disheveled. So we're trying to make the house look as best as we possibly can. So a lot of my clients find this step daunting. But what we've done is we come alongside people and we help them pick and choose what should stay and what should go. And our clients have really been grateful for that service. So your agent can, again, this is why you want to talk to them early, can provide insight on what should stay and what should go. And look on the bright side, if you're gonna put a bunch of stuff away before the house goes on the market, that's less for you to have to pack once the house sells. Okay, so now you've depersonalized, you've decluttered, now it's time for that deep clean. We've got a Rolodex of 3 or 4 cleaners that we like best who do a really good job. And what do I mean by a deep clean? That's not just the countertops and the surface, the floors that you see that's easy to spot dust on. I'm talking about going inside the kitchen cabinets, hitting the back corners, going behind the toilets, going and cleaning the grout really deep for that tile in the shower. By deep cleaning these things, your house is gonna give off an impression, wow, these sellers really maintain this property. They did a good job. It's gonna give your potential buyer a really good vibe about the property. And finally, here's a bonus tip. Wash those windows inside and out. We've got window washers too. Those guys are hard to schedule right now. I don't know if you've noticed, I think it's because of the rain, but you've got to get the windows cleaned inside and out because it just lets that natural light pour in. We work with a lot of view property. You want that ocean view or that hill view. You don't want water spots and cobwebs and dust impeding that view at all. The fourth thing, let's maximize the natural light. Get as much natural light flowing into the property as possible. So we're gonna pull back those curtains. We're gonna open up or maybe even take down those vertical blinds or those mini blinds. Get rid of those things. Let that light come in. And here's a trick. If the house is a little bit dark or is missing some of that perfect solar orientation, get rid of any dark walls. Accent walls do not help a property sell right now, by the way. The best way to sell a property is going to be with some neutral paint color like a bone white or a Swiss coffee. It really depends on some of the finishings in the property, but I or the agent that you're working with can help advise you on paint color. The fifth thing that you need to prepare for, cosmetic updates. Now hear me out on this. I'm not gonna take you through a full-fledged remodel, but if you have, let's say, a countertop surface that's old, 4-inch white tile, it's from the 80s. It could do your home so much benefit to go to a quartz or a granite, something that's not crazy expensive, but something that will yield a return on investment. I know for a fact that when you do things like floors, you might swap out some dirty carpet for a click-in vinyl or an engineered hardwood, or getting back to that old tile for quartz countertops. These are things where if you spend 10, you might make 30 when you go onto the market. And that's a 3 times ROI. If you have the option to do that, maybe even your agent can provide some kind of financing solution for you if you didn't have the funds to pay for these improvements. I know I have solutions like that, and I've helped dozens and dozens of clients do some minor cosmetic updates, and they were so happy that they did. The house ended up selling for more money than we originally planned, and something that's hard to substantiate, we knew that by doing those cosmetic updates, not only did the house sell for more, but we got such a larger audience of people to come out and look at the property because the pictures look so much better. The home was showcased really well online. And those new updates, the 3x ROI updates that they put into the house, ended up putting that home in a better light. Number 6, curb appeal. Oftentimes, a home buyer's opinion of the property has made before they even come inside. How many times have you, or maybe a friend that you know, a loved one, you see a property get listed, what's the first thing you do? It might be at nighttime, you can't see the house, you're gonna do a drive-by. I've done hundreds of drive-bys. My clients do drive-bys all the time. That's when you pull up your car, you sit outside and you examine the house, you pull up the listing, oh, it's 4 bedrooms, I wonder where they are or how they lay out. oh, the backyard this. Well, curb appeal is huge in that moment. So here's a few things to consider to enhance the curb appeal. Add mulch to your planter beds, freshen those planter beds with some new flowers, little things. Fascia on the house, those boards that go around the property. If you got termite damage or dry rot or peeling paint, let's touch that stuff up so that the curb appeal looks nice when somebody's sitting outside examining the property. Now, here are some things that are absolute musts. We want that grass to be mowed. We want the grass to be nice and green. If there's dead spots, there are ways to help your grass and pump it up and get it nice and happy before you list the property. I've got some tricks up my sleeve that I've learned over the years. Another reason why you want to talk to your agent earlier in the game than later. Additionally, make sure the yard and the entry stays swept, and any trash or any loose items that have accumulated, we want to tuck that stuff back away where it cannot be seen from the street. The seventh and final thing we're going to talk about today is staging the property. What do I mean by staging? Well, there are different levels. In my office, we have a warehouse full of display bedding, art, decor, little items like that, all the way up to a full-fledged furniture stage where we're actually working with a professional stager. They give you a bid. The stager brings in furniture to fill the home or certain rooms that you might not have furniture for. That would be a professional stage. But the idea here is, we've seen it over the years. Here's my numbers. A staged house sells 3 times faster, and for on average in San Clemente, 3% more than a house that's not staged. It's just like a model home that you might have gone through at some point in your life, where a developer takes the best property, they stage it so that people can envision the space. It helps the property sell faster and for more money. One thing that your agent's going to do for you is they're going to get you a couple of references and set up those staging consultations so you know exactly what you need to do to prepare for them, how much it's going to cost, and when that's going to take place. And again, another reason to reach out to your agent sooner so that they can get all of that going rather than having to delay once you're excited and ready to put the house on the market. So if you find yourself, oh, I'm right in this boat now where I need to be prepared, reach out to me. If you're not from this area and you're seeing this video, reach out to me anyways. I know agents all up and down the coast, especially if you're planning to come to San Clemente and you want to buy a house here and you have a house to sell. Let's start dialoguing about that now, and I can forward you some references of agents I know in that area that typically have clients coming down here. You can simply shoot me a text message. I know a lot of people find that the simplest way to communicate. Shoot me a text and let me know about your plans, and we'll start engaging in the process now. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks so much and take care.